Hi, in this video we are gonna go over basic vocabulary words for fractions. So introduction to fractions. First word is numerator. Numerator is the top number in a fraction. So if you have 3 over 4, 3 is the numerator. And denominator is the bottom number in a fraction. So again, if you have 3/4, 4 is the denominator. Okay, so what is a fraction? We went over we did the activity where you cut the paper into pieces, and each piece is a fraction, so it's a part of a whole in general. So if you have, this is a whole number 1, you cut it into half. This is 1/2, it's a fraction. You can cut the circle into 3 pieces. 2 of them is 2 over 3. If you cut the circle into 4 pieces and then shade 3 pieces, then it's 3 over 4. But it can be different numbers. It could be 4 over 5 or 5 over 4. It could be a lot. There are a lot of fractions with different numbers. And a rational number is any number that can be written or expressed as A over B. So fraction is a kind of a rational number. A B cannot be 0. So you cannot have 0 for your denominator. So it can be 1/2, could be 3 over 1, which is 3. And then it could be 0, it could be -2, +2, could be -1/2, could be -100 over 3, could be 5 over 6. So rational number is a bigger term that includes integers or fractions. So it's a bigger category. Equivalent fraction, equivalent means the same. So you have 2 fractions which are the same, that have the same value, but they are written differently. So if you simplify them, you will get the same fraction. So basically, if we have 2 over 4 or 2/4 is the same as 1/2. They are equivalent to fractions. They represent the same number, but they look different. So let's shade the requested part of each rectangle 2/5. So you have 5 pieces. You shade 2 pieces. This represents 2/5. 1/4, you shade 1 piece. And I'm sorry, I'm just gonna erase this part. And if you have 3/4, it means you shade 3 pieces out of 4 pieces. 5/6, you shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces out of 6 pieces. So let's go over more of equivalent fractions. So maybe I will use different color. Let's use blue. Write in the missing fraction and color in the pie chart. So you have 2/8. So you color 2 parts. Actually, I'm gonna shade these 2 pieces because it'll be easier to shade the next pieces. So I'm gonna shade this piece and this. You shade 2/8. and they should be equivalent fractions. They should represent the same thing. So each piece here is equivalent to 2 pieces here, right? And this piece, I'm gonna shade these 2 pieces. So now look at this circle. You shade 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces out of how many pieces do you have? If you count them, you have 16 pieces. So 2/8 and 4/16, they are equivalent fractions. Here 4/6. So you shade 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, this piece is equivalent to these 2 pieces. This piece is equivalent to these 2 pieces. Here you shade 2 out of 3 pieces. Let's do one more example. You have 1/4 is the same as, if you shade them, same as 2/8. So I want you to try all the other problems on the same page and then check your answers with me. And then next page, so if you have pictures, it's easy to find equivalent fractions. For example, you have 3 pieces out of 4. That's equivalent to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6/8. If you have 4 pieces out of 6, that's the same as you shade 2 pieces. So 2 pieces out of 3. 1/2 is the same as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pieces out of 10 pieces. But if you don't have pictures, how can you find it? You can see 4 to 8. You multiply by 2, right? 3 to 6, we multiply by 2. So if you multiply the same number, you get equivalent fraction. 6 to 3, you divide by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 times 5 is 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Here you have 12 and 6. You divide by 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. You have to divide by the same number. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 to 6. How do you get to 6 from 3? You multiply by 2. You have to multiply the numerator by the same number. 1 times 2 is 2. 6 to 12, multiply by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Okay. So, I want you to do the rest of the page, but I'll give you answer for G, so you can skip this one. And I and M. Because for these problems, you have to use different methods. So you can skip these two, but other problems, the same. You multiply by the same number or divide by the same number. With the denominator and numerator, you should get the same numbers. So finish this page and check your answers with me. So remember, you multiply by the same number or divide by the same number to get equivalent fractions.